The world is changing fast. EV mandates are crumbling. Here's what you need to know. In the state of Virginia, Virginia is one of those states that recently just said that they're going to reject the California EV mandates. This thing is way better than what I thought. So I was like,
yeah, there's love, there's hate, lies and games, faith.
The world is changing fast. EV mandates are crumbling. Here's what you need to know. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you guys have been enjoying your beginning of summer. And you would think beginning of summer, it's a great time for EVs because it's warmer. Because one of the bad things about EVs is that when it's colder, they lose power pretty quickly. But yeah, aside from that, let me go ahead and jump into why you should pay attention to everything that's happening right now with EVs and EV mandates, and why you should actually rejoice and be a little bit happy, because I think people are finally starting to see the light. So let's get into this one. I'm just gonna jump straight into this one in today's video. So if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you guys know that I've been against the EV mandates for years now, since they've started that EV, trying to force everybody into EV crap. And I'm not, and first I want to clarify, I'm not against EVs because an electric vehicle is a bad thing or nothing like that. I'm against it first and foremost because the mandate of trying to force everyone into EVs is just not, it's against freedom, I would say. You know, it's taking away people's freedom of choice. I feel like, you know, you should let markets decide, you should let people decide what they want to get. And then also, because I understood from the beginning that it wasn't about, you know, the environment or anything like that, this was always a tool for the rich and powerful to have more power and control. That's what the EV mandates was from the beginning. Because, you know, when you have an EV, first of all, most EVs are literally spying on you like 24/7, especially the Teslas, you know. Secondary, EV, they can literally, like, there's the cases, you see this in China all the time, where like the EVs would just, like, people won't be able to stop them. They just keep going, keep accelerating, and you have no control because it's an easily hackable component. It's basically like you're driving a big computer with very little, if any, mechanical control that the driver can have. So you reserve the control of the vehicle to the powers that be, to whoever is either a really good hacker or to the corporations that control and own those vehicles. So they basically, to me, EV always represented something that it was more into the power of the people that already have all the money and to take away power and control from the individual. So that was the main reason why I was against them personally. And I think now we're getting to a point where we're starting to see different states and stuff push back against EV mandates. So shout out to Racecar 21. He's in the state of Virginia. Virginia is one of those states that recently just said that they're going to reject the California EV mandates, and they're going to give the power back to the people, give the people the power of choice to choose what type of vehicles they want to buy, when they want to buy it, how they want to buy it, you know. And to me, that's the beginning of a new era, you know, in the US at least. And I think even in Europe, I think Germany has been pushing back against some of the EV mandates and stuff. And there's other countries that, you know, are totally against it. So I think we're getting to a point now where everything, like the stuff, I remember like a couple years ago when I made these type of videos, everyone thought I was crazy. The algorithm was pushing up against me like, no, you can't say that. Like I was basically saying the most unpopular stuff because everybody back then was, you know, like, yeah, EVs are great, it's the future. And I was the only one like, nah, I don't think so. This is back when, you know, Tesla was really popular. Everybody was jumping on it. Everybody was jumping ship. And I saw it for what it was. It's just another tool for the rich and powerful to control everyone else. And I think we're getting at a point in human history where people are tired of being manipulated. People are tired of being controlled. And people just want freedom. Like, we want to be able to have fun cars like these, like Camaros, like stuff like that, and if we want to get an EV, yes. And I think once that freedom of choice becomes more prevalent, like, I think the world will progress and everybody be a lot happier, because, you know, there's always room for the rich and powerful to make money. Like, they don't get that way, the ones that are self-made, they don't get that way by chance. they can pretty much use any scenario to become rich and powerful. But I think if you give the power back to the people, that would mean more money, because then if you have more middle class or more people that are making good money and they have more discretionary funds to spend, they're going to spend it on things that are going to make the rich even more rich and powerful. So this is something that I feel the greed of the people currently running things, and the greed is kind of like a petty greed. It's not like I need to get more money. The greed is more of a I need to stop you from doing this. Like, I want to be able to go on my fancy cars and jets and you must have nothing. It's, you know, it's that sort of greed, and I think that is coming to a stop soon, or is going to be forced, you know, basically by stuff that I got nothing to do with, but I recognize it. I see the forces kind of coming together, things like the BRICS nations, you know, the de-dollarization of the US currency and things like that. This is what happens when you try to bully other nations and other people and other countries. When you try to bully them and force your way of life on everybody, eventually people are going to snap back and you're going to end up losing everything you had. So I think there's going to be a brighter future ahead once these mandates stop. I think you're going to see companies like Chevrolet, Dodge, they're going to start bringing back fun cars like the manual gearbox, gasoline powered, V8 powered, Camaros, Challengers, you know, things like that. And I think they're probably even going to find alternate fuel sources that will run cleaner than what we currently have today. So I think, you know, there is hope for the future. I think the EV has its place too. There's going to be, like I said, I think there's going to be other fuel sources that will become available. And, you know, I think if you just like operate from a more of a freedom, you know, let people have their fun type of way of doing things versus the I'm going to have everything and you have nothing. Like, it's not sustainable. So yeah, I hope this video makes sense to a lot of you. I know it's just kind of a rant, but I saw that whole thing where Virginia was rejecting the California EV mandates, and I had to bring this to you guys. And by the way, shout out to the whole MOC, shout out to Q the Chaotic, Blueprint Winner Lee, 100 Gang Nate, shout out to Will Motivation, you know, shout out to my homeboy Papa Longlegs, Race Car 21, DBX 79. There's another guy that has a Civic, I think it's Factor. Can't remember, it's Factor something, but you know who you are with the gray Honda Civic Type R. Shout out to you too. And shout out to everybody that rock with us. Like, a lot of you don't know me, and I don't come on camera like this very often, but where I'm based, I'm based in a place of love, that I have love for all humanity. Like, I know some people are born into, like, you know, certain groups or certain ways of thinking. Like, I feel like most people are programmed that I'm with this team, I'm with that team. And for me, I'm for team humanity. I've always been that way. Like, so I got love for everybody. I feel like we should all be able to enjoy each other's cultures, enjoy the things that make us different versus like, oh, I'm better than you because I have this or I can do this. Like, I'm like, let's just all enjoy each other's cultures, enjoy each other's differences, and enjoy life, because none of us know how long we're here for. So let's enjoy the time that we have and spend it with people that are like-minded. And when I say like-minded individuals that believe that everybody should have the right for freedom and happiness. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Race Car Friends out. He looks like he was trying. So I was just like, okay, this thing is way better than what I thought. So